Welcome to my podcast. Today I'll be talking about the best left wingers in fantasy hockey. I'll review the NFL season and I'll also be talking about the NBA All-Stars Saturday night. Best left wingers in fantasy hockey. 1. Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin is the best left winger in fantasy hockey this season. He has 32 goals, 58 points, and 20 power play points so far this season. 2. Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux is the second best left winger in fantasy hockey this season. He has 17 goals, 62 points, and 27 power play points so far this season. 3. Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau is the third best left winger in fantasy hockey this season. He has 18 goals, 65 points, and 18 power play points so far this season. 4. Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is the fourth best left winger in fantasy hockey this season. He has 20 goals, 54 points, and 20 power play points so far this season. 5. Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn is the fifth best left winger in fantasy hockey this season. He has 21 goals, 52 points, and 15 power play points so far this season. Next week, I'll be talking about the best right wingers in fantasy hockey. NFL season review. This past NFL season was filled with controversy and surprises. Before the season even started, there was controversy surrounding the status of Colin Kaepernick. Due to his political stance, no NFL team signed Kaepernick. Because of this, many NFL fans feel like he was being blackballed. This season, we saw three young quarterbacks emerge as stars in the league. Carson Wentz led the Philadelphia Eagles to the best record in the NFC and was an MVP candidate before getting injured. Deshaun Watson became a star after going up to New England and putting on a show. Unfortunately for Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, he went down with a season-ending injury in Week 7. Jared Goff had a great season for the LA Rams after being finally free from Jeff Fisher. Speaking of the LA Rams, Todd Gurley had a bounce-back year and won Offensive Player of the Year under new head coach Sean McVay. Many star players went down with season-ending injuries, causing the playoff picture to change drastically. Andrew Luck was out the entire season, and Aaron Rodgers went down in Week 3 with a season-ending injury. The Arizona Cardinals lost David Johnson and Carson Palmer to season-ending injuries. This basically eliminated them from the playoffs. The Seattle Seahawks lost Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor to season-ending injuries, costing them the playoff spot. The Houston Texans were the team that were hit the hardest. They lost Deshaun Watson and their two top defensive players to season-ending injuries. Before the playoffs began, Robert Kraft forced Bill Belichick to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, so there would be no threat to Tom Brady. To stick it to Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick traded Jimmy Garoppolo to the San Francisco 49ers for just a second-round pick. After getting traded, Jimmy Garoppolo went 7-0 as a starter and just became the highest-paid quarterback in the league. When Carson Wentz went down with a season-ending injury, everyone counted Philly out. However, Nick Foles came in and played hero for the Philadelphia Eagles. Against the number 1 ranked Minnesota Vikings defense, Foles threw for 352 yards and 3 touchdowns to set up a Super Bowl matchup against the NFL's reigning dynasty, the New England Patriots. In the Super Bowl, Nick Foles threw for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tom Brady had the best game he could have statistically. He threw for 505 yards and 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately for Tom Brady, all this does not matter because he lost. This was a great story and one that the NFL desperately needed. This is why we watch sports, because nobody could have predicted this outcome. Next week, I'll be talking about surprising NFL teams last season. NBA All-Stars Saturday night. The first event is the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Participants are Joel Embiid, Buddy Hield, Lou Williams, Andre Drummond, Al Horford, Lauri Markkanen, Spencer Dinwiddle, and Jamal Murray. The second event is the JBL 3-point contest. Participants are Eric Gordon, Devin Booker, Klay Thompson, Bradley Beal, Wayne Ellington, Kyle Lowry, Tobias Harris, Paul George. Final event is the Verizon Slam Dunk contest. Participants are Victor Oladipo, Donovan Mitchell, Larry Nance Jr., and Dennis Smith Jr. Next, I'll be doing an NBA standings update. In my next podcast, I'll be talking about the best right wingers in fantasy hockey, surprising NFL teams last season, and an NBA standings update.